Welcome back, Drill Freak Nation, and this is the start of our new series on how to control your trajectory and your spin with your wedges. Welcome back, Drill Freak Nation. Today's episode, we're going to work on hitting the higher trajectory shot. Now, this is a shot you can use 60 degree, 64 degree. You can even use your sand wedge. The shot I'm going to show you is going to be with my 58 degree. But one of the things we want to talk about besides setup and what I'm going to show you is our hands are going to be coming up a lot higher on this shot. And you're probably not going to see, if you're working with the swing trainer later on, you won't see much red at all because we're trying to feel like we're lifting this ball a little bit higher in the air. You can see here where my hands are coming up a lot higher than they normally would in a medium shot right there, or even the lower trajectory shot that we have on our episode here in this series. So let's get started. Okay, so let's take a look at the high trajectory shot here with a 58 degree lob wedge. And let's look at ball position. Look at how close that is. Pretty much like a driver. If you notice even too, where the shaft is at address, I have my hand slightly behind the golf ball. And you're going to see also here a little bit more of a wider stance. Again, I'll talk about we need that for base. We need that for support for this particular type of shot. We're going to let this club pretty much impact hands and club head coming in just generally around the same time. And well, let's take a look. So again, one of the things too, I want to make sure that you know that I am keeping a lot of weight on that lead side, even though my shoulder line right there, that's pretty much what we're going to look at as far as launch coming in. But there's a lot of weight. I'm just really keeping that weight on that lead side. So when I come through, there's that little squat that I like to see in a swing, especially right in through there. Now that we have more of a regular stance, and we're going to use the ground for leverage right now. As I said before, let's get rid of that. So as you see coming through again, we're inside the hitting zone, right? There we go. Everything that's crucial right now is happening right now in that area. You can see, again, I'm hanging on to my angles real well. Got some good lag coming through here. And there's impact. So you're going to see my hands are right there. I'll stop. Are slightly ahead of the club head. So there's no flipping before the strike. You'll see a little bit now as we get through the shot. So there's a post swing, and you can see again the post position of where that ball, you can see how high this ball is jumping. And as we get through the shot here, you're going to see, I mentioned earlier, my palm of my right hand is now facing more up. You can even see a little bit of my lead hand, the backhand of it facing the sky. And you can even tell as I come through, you'd see a little flip, but the hands, you can see where the finish is much higher. And this ball, again, went 50 yards, approximately 50 yards. And we'll take a look at the shot details and the analytics of the swing, looking at launch and looking at the spin rate. But as we go back, let's look at ball position. There's impact right there. And watch how quickly these hands move up, how much higher they come up in the swing as they did, let's say, if we looked at the lower trajectory type finish. And again, all these balls are going approximately 50 yards. So, all right, so let's take a look now of the analytics of this particular swing on the launch monitor. Okay, guys, so let's take a look now at the high trajectory shot here now and the analytics of the swing itself. So you're going to see the launch angle is 36 degrees, which is about 8 degrees higher than we had on the medium trajectory shot. And this could actually, you can play around with this number here too. I know, as I said before, I only took about 12 swings for all of these particular shots, the four, 2 of the low, 1 medium, and 1 high, using a sand wedge and a lob wedge, 58 for the low trajectory shot. So here, this is 36 degrees. I know there was a few I had up near 40, 42 that we put. This one here is a pretty good sample or an example of what you would see playing this ball more forward in your stance and getting a lot more lift. So we take a look at the shot itself here. And we're going to see, threw it right over some pretty good spin. I brought it back a little bit right there. So it carried at 52 and it came back another 3 feet through spin. But if we look at these numbers here now, we're seeing 81.43. That's a pretty good spin rate. 36, as I said before, is a pretty good average for a high trajectory. So you'll see you're going to get a little bit more spin and throwing it up like that. But I would definitely advise using, if you're going to go for the high trajectory shot, to invest in a lob wedge anywhere from 58 on up. You can do it with a sand wedge. You'd really have to open up the blade, and there's a lot of techniques out there to do that. I like hitting more of a pop shot where the club goes back square and stays square through the shot, as opposed to opening up the toe or the blade and attacking it that way, because that would risk the chance for some hosel rockets too. So again, we'll take a quick look at the shot itself. And there it is. And that's the high trajectory shot. Those are the numbers right there. Hope you guys enjoy that. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed that analysis of the higher trajectory shot. I was using a 58 degree on that one. So actually I used a 58 degree on all of those particular shots that you have seen. So this, on the higher trajectory, one of the things I want to just cover real quick again is, you notice I had a little bit wider stance for this particular type of shot. That's to give us a little bit more of a foundation, a base, because we're really at this point trying to let this club face, as we hit down into the golf ball, and you can see my hands were still slightly beating the club head coming through. I wasn't necessarily flipping under, catching any dirt or grass or taking a divot behind the ball. I'm hitting ball and then the ground. But when you look at it from this angle right now, again, I want you to notice that even though my shoulder is back on this, and that's kind of like the trajectory that we're looking to see the launch, all right, I am applying a lot of weight. I'm staying very stable, locked in on that lead side. So when I take the club back, there's no swaying. I'm just staying on that lead side. So when we come down, notice I'm playing this ball. We're going to play this ball very forward in our stance. That is just inside my lead heel, much like a driver. But that's how we're going to get that launch and just make it just jump up and have some really good spin on it. This is a shot that I've taught to a lot of our high school and college players and really good amateur players in our area, and all have been very, very successful with it. So hope you enjoy that. One last thing. Let's take the swing trainer here now. And I mentioned before about always showing red. In this case in here, when we go to practice with the swing trainer, when you get to impact and you stop right there, you're going to see just a little bit of red at this point. And from here, we're just going to carry this up this way. So my palm, it's very rare you're going to hear me say this, but my palm is actually going to be facing skyward. My lead wrist, you're going to even see a little bit of a flip occurring, much like if you were to hit a sand shot. Okay, you're going to see a little bit of flip occurring because we're coming up this way. We're trying to elevate this golf ball as we come through, and you'll see a much, higher finish with the hands because it's a higher trajectory shot. So I hope you enjoy that. Again, we welcome all your comments and your emails. We enjoy it. Drill Freak Nation, I hope you guys enjoyed this series on how to flight your trajectory and your spin rates with your wedges. And again, try this out. Go to a 50-yard target and start working. Even have play a little game where you're going to go low, medium, and high. This way you'll have these shots in your bag, and it just, you can incorporate that with your other wedges rather than just your lob wedge or your sand wedge. But generally those two clubs is what we're really working on here for that 30 to 70 yard type shot. Peace and love, Drill Freak Nation. We'll catch you guys back again real soon.